Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike Patrick. In this video, I want to talk about how in minority neighborhoods across the country, there's a lack of grocery stores that sell quality products, okay? I want to talk about how in neighborhoods that has a high number of minorities, there is a lack of grocery stores that sell quality products. Now, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Are there a lack of quality products sold in grocery stores throughout high minority populated areas because minorities don't patronize quality foods, or do minorities not have access to quality foods, so therefore they don't patronize it? All right, now I think this is an issue that, like most issues, it has its origins way back in the the mid 1900s, maybe like 70, 80 something years ago. uh you had minorities, guys, that before integration they lived in rural areas, okay? They lived in the country where they had to produce their own foods. So minorities were way more skilled in farming, okay? They were way more skilled in agriculture and raising their own animals, okay? And therefore having access to better quality foods because they had to rely on themselves in order to produce their foods, all right? And then naturally, the foods that you produce are going to be quality foods, healthy foods, okay? You're growing a lot of fruits, vegetables, herbs, okay? You're raising animals, and they're the quality of the meats and the eggs and the dairy, I guess you could say, the milk and things of that nature was way better quality and less processed, okay? It wasn't as stepped on, as they say, or as stretched out, okay? So the thing is, guys, once integration started to take place, you had a lot of minorities that moved from rural areas into inner cities where they did way less farming, obviously, way less raising their own animals, all right? And they became way more dependent on commercial products and commercial foods. And they had to go to commercial grocery stores and things of that nature, all right? So, and then we know in order to capitalize on certain products, we found ways to process things so it can last longer on the shelf. We found ways to, like I say, step on things in order to make more, get more out of a product, all right? So we can produce more of it, which a lot of times it messes with the quality of foods. And so therefore, guys, access to quality foods became more and more scarce, okay? And also what happened is with integration, now you had groups that were segregated coming together, and then now there was almost like a class system, okay? So you had minorities who may have been doing pretty well on the outskirts in rural areas, doing their own farming, okay, having their own farming business, selling their products, okay, and they also had their own land, so they weren't necessarily paying rent and things of that nature. And now when you move to the inner cities, now you have to do these things, okay? You still have to, now you have to pay rent, okay? Now you have to pay for food that you was able to produce on your own, all right? And then also when it comes to jobs and things of that nature, they were second class when it came to getting some of the better jobs and things of that nature. So now you're not making the money that you need in order to buy quality products. And so now you're put in a position where you have to compromise and eat, you have to eat way less quality food, in order to survive, okay? So that's kind of what happened. And then you fast forward all the way into the times that we in now, and it never really changed. That was just always a snowball effect. That was a problem that has been happening since it started. It's never stopped. Okay, and then also what has a lot to do with it is lack of education. So usually lack of education and poverty usually lie parallel. Okay, and so therefore many people who don't have a lot of money also don't know how to eat better. They're not the most health savvy, dietary savvy people. Okay, they tend to not really care too much about what they eat. For one, because they don't have the education to know what's supposed to be good for them and what's supposed to be bad for them or not so good for them. Okay, and two, a lot of times they don't have the funds anyway, that if they knew how to eat better, to be able to, to buy quality foods. All right, so it all lies parallel and goes hand in hand. All right, but now we're coming into a time where you can be educated, but you may prioritize health and wellness and holistic eating and a holistic way of life before you prioritize material things. And so you have very highly educated people who may live in urban areas. Okay, and so therefore those people have to be accommodated. Okay, because things are changing. Now, I know for a business, it's not lucrative, it's not profitable for you to put certain types of products in an area that you don't think is going to sell. All right, but what you have to do is give people a chance, give people options. So you put a little product inside some of these low-end grocery stores, and then as people become more educated, they buy these products, and then you can put more in these stores. All right, and that's how it works. And over time, as people become more educated, they become healthier, then you are still able to make your profits while people are doing better as a whole. Okay, as opposed to supporting ignorance and supporting bad health. Okay, so hopefully, so another thing you can do, guys, is you can also spend less. I mean, you can buy better quality food. Okay, but you might have to eat less of it, as opposed to buying more food but it's cheap and worse, and it's bad quality. All right, so you can learn how to discipline yourself, and you can spend, instead of spending $10 on 10 cases of noodles, spend $10 on some apples and oranges. It may not be as much food from a quantitative standpoint, but it's way better quality, and you can discipline yourself and eat less, which is healthy anyway, and it's very healthy. All right, it's healthier to eat less. Okay, it helps you discipline yourself, and you're eating better quality food, so you're getting more sustenance. So what'll happen is, as you become healthier, you won't have to eat as much anyway. All right, because you're getting all the nutrients that your body needs from those quality foods. All right, guys, so that's something just to stimulate thought, something to think about. I don't want my videos being too long, so it's something to think about, guys. As we become more educated, we have to get better quality products in our neighborhoods instead of having to go all the way to affluent neighborhoods to get better quality foods. All right, peace.